If you're over 70 and struggling with sleep, wondering whether those afternoon naps are helping or hurting, or questioning if the bedtime routine that worked in your 40s is still serving you well, you're not alone. Tonight, we're going to explore what sleep researchers and geriatricians are discovering about optimal bedtimes for older adults and why the answer might surprise you. More importantly, we'll uncover practical strategies that can transform your nights and energize your days. Sleep isn't just rest for those of us who've crossed the 7-decade mark. It's actually one of the most powerful tools we have for maintaining our health, protecting our memory, and preserving our independence. Yet many adults over 70 find themselves caught in a frustrating cycle of going to bed too late, waking up too early, or spending hours lying awake in the middle of the night. The good news is that recent research has revealed specific timing strategies that can help restore the quality sleep your body craves. What makes this topic particularly important for our generation is that sleep patterns naturally change as we age. The sleep challenges you're experiencing aren't a sign of weakness or something you just have to accept. They're often the result of predictable biological shifts that we can work with rather than against. Understanding these changes and adapting our routines accordingly can make the difference between restless nights and truly restorative sleep. The science behind aging and sleep patterns. As we move through our 70s and beyond, our bodies undergo several changes that directly impact when and how we sleep. Dr. Margaret Thompson, a sleep specialist at Johns Hopkins Medical Center, explains that our circadian rhythms, the internal clocks that regulate sleep and wake cycles, naturally shift earlier as we age. This phenomenon, called advanced sleep phase syndrome, means that many older adults naturally feel sleepy earlier in the evening and wake up earlier in the morning. The production of melatonin, our body's natural sleep hormone, also changes significantly after 70. Research conducted at the University of California, San Diego, found that adults over 70 produce melatonin approximately 2 hours earlier than younger adults. This biological shift explains why you might find yourself nodding off during the evening news at 7 p.m. Even when you used to stay alert until 10 or 11 p.m. in your younger years, core body temperature regulation also plays a crucial role in sleep timing. As we age, our bodies don't regulate temperature as efficiently, and the natural drop in body temperature that signals bedtime often occurs earlier in the evening. Dr. Robert Chen, a geriatrician practicing in Phoenix, Arizona, notes that many of his patients report feeling their most alert and comfortable in the late afternoon and early evening, with sleepiness naturally arriving between 8 and 9 p.m. Another factor that significantly impacts sleep timing is the decreased production of growth hormone and other restorative hormones during deep sleep phases. While we can't stop these natural changes, understanding them helps us work with our biology rather than fighting against it. This is why the old advice to simply force yourself to stay up later or sleep in longer often backfires for older adults. The optimal bedtime window for adults over 70, based on comprehensive sleep studies and clinical experience, most sleep specialists recommend that adults over 70 aim for a bedtime between 8:30 and 9:30 p.m. This recommendation isn't arbitrary. It's based on the natural circadian rhythm shifts that occur with aging and the need for 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night. Dr. Sarah Williams, who directs the Sleep Disorder Center at Cleveland Clinic, explains that this earlier bedtime window allows older adults to work with their natural melatonin production rather than against it. When you go to bed during this optimal window, you're more likely to fall asleep within 15 to 20 minutes, experience deeper sleep phases, and wake up feeling refreshed rather than groggy. However, it's important to note that this timing should be personalized based on your individual sleep needs and lifestyle. If you're naturally waking up at 5 a.m., feeling rested and alert, an 8:30 bedtime is likely perfect for you. If you prefer to wake up at 7 a.m., a 9:30 bedtime might be more appropriate. The key is consistency, going to bed and waking up at roughly the same times each day, including weekends. William Johnson, a retired teacher from Boston, Massachusetts, discovered this principle firsthand. After years of struggling with middle-of-the-night awakenings, he began tracking his sleep patterns and noticed he naturally felt sleepy around 8:45 p.m. By honoring this natural rhythm instead of forcing himself to stay awake until 10:30, he began sleeping through the night consistently for the first time in years. The research supporting earlier bedtimes for older adults is compelling. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Medicine followed 500 adults over 70 for 2 years and found that those who went to bed between 8:30 and 9:30 p.m. had better cognitive function, fewer falls, and reported higher energy levels during the day compared to those who went to bed after 10 p.m. The dangers of going to bed too late. While it might seem harmless to stay up late watching television or reading, going to bed significantly after your natural bedtime can have serious consequences for older adults. When we fight against our natural circadian rhythms, we disrupt the delicate balance of hormones and neurotransmitters that regulate sleep quality. Dr. Michael Rodriguez, a neurologist specializing in sleep disorders, explains that older adults who consistently go to bed after 10:30 p.m. are more likely to experience fragmented sleep. Even if they manage to fall asleep initially, this happens because they're missing their natural sleep window. When melatonin levels are at their peak and body temperature is naturally declining, the consequences extend far beyond feeling tired the next day. Chronic late bedtimes in older adults are associated with increased risk of cardiovascular problems, weakened immune function, and accelerated cognitive decline. A longitudinal study conducted in Minnesota followed 800 adults over 75 and found that those who went to bed after 11 p.m. had a 30% higher risk of developing dementia over a 10-year period compared to those who went to bed by 9 p.m. Martha Davis, a retired nurse from Seattle, Washington, experienced these effects personally for months. She stayed up until 11 p.m. watching late-night television, telling herself she needed the entertainment to unwind. However, she noticed her memory becoming less sharp, her balance feeling less steady, and her mood becoming increasingly irritable. When she shifted her bedtime to 9 p.m., she was amazed by how quickly her energy and mental clarity returned. Late bedtimes also increase the risk of falls and accidents in older adults. When we don't get adequate sleep during our natural sleep window, our reaction times slow, our balance becomes compromised, and our judgment can be impaired the following day. The National Institute on Aging reports that adults over 70 who get less than 7 hours of sleep or who go to bed after their natural bedtime window have a 40% higher risk of falls. If you currently go to bed late and want to shift to an earlier bedtime, it's important to make the transition gradually. Sleep specialists recommend moving your bedtime 15 minutes earlier every 3 to 4 days until you reach your target time. This gradual approach helps your body adjust without creating additional sleep disruption. Creating the perfect pre-sleep routine. The 2 hours before your target bedtime are crucial for signaling to your body that it's time to wind down and prepare for sleep. Dr. Elizabeth Martinez, a behavioral sleep medicine specialist in Austin, Texas, emphasizes that a consistent pre-sleep routine can significantly improve both the speed of falling asleep and the quality of sleep throughout the night. Begin your wind-down routine approximately 2 hours before your intended bedtime. If you're aiming for a 9 p.m. bedtime, start preparing your body and mind for sleep at 7 p.m. This preparation period should involve gradually dimming the lights in your home, as bright light can suppress melatonin production and keep you alert when you want to feel sleepy. Temperature regulation is another crucial component of an effective pre-sleep routine. Many older adults benefit from taking a warm bath or shower about 90 minutes before bedtime. The warm water raises your body temperature temporarily, and as your body cools down afterward, it triggers the natural temperature drop that promotes sleepiness. James Thompson, a retired mechanic from Chicago, Illinois, found that his nightly warm shower at 7:30 p.m. became a powerful signal to his body that bedtime was approaching. Digital device usage should be minimized during your pre-sleep routine. The blue light emitted by televisions, tablets, and smartphones can interfere with melatonin production and keep your mind overly stimulated. Instead of screen time, consider gentle activities like reading a physical book, listening to soft music, or practicing light stretching exercises. Dr. Martinez recommends keeping all electronic devices out of the bedroom entirely. Nutrition timing also plays a role in sleep preparation. Avoid large meals, caffeine, and alcohol within 3 hours of bedtime, as these can interfere with your body's natural preparation for sleep. However, a small protein-rich snack about an hour before bed can actually promote better sleep by providing amino acids that support melatonin production. Consider incorporating relaxation techniques into your routine. Progressive muscle relaxation, where you systematically tense and release different muscle groups, can help release physical tension accumulated during the day. Deep breathing exercises or gentle meditation can quiet mental chatter that might otherwise keep you awake once your head hits the pillow. Addressing common sleep challenges for older adults. Many adults over 70 face specific sleep challenges that can make it difficult to maintain an optimal bedtime routine. Understanding and addressing these common issues can significantly improve your sleep quality and make it easier to stick to your ideal bedtime schedule. Frequent nighttime bathroom trips, medically known as nocturia, affect up to 60% of adults over 70. Dr. Patricia Lee, a urologist in Denver, Colorado, recommends limiting fluid intake 2 hours before bedtime and ensuring you empty your bladder completely before getting into bed. If you do need to use the bathroom during the night, use dim red light instead of bright white light, which can disrupt your ability to fall back asleep. Pain and discomfort from arthritis, back problems, or other chronic conditions can make it challenging to fall asleep at your desired bedtime. Rather than lying in bed uncomfortable, it's important to address pain management as part of your pre-sleep routine. This might include gentle stretching, applying heat or cold therapy to sore areas, or taking prescribed pain medication at the appropriate time to maximize its effectiveness during sleep hours. Anxiety and worry often intensify at bedtime, particularly for older adults who may be dealing with health concerns, financial worries, or grief. Dr. Susan White, a geriatric psychiatrist in Miami, Florida, suggests keeping a worry journal by your bedside. If anxious thoughts arise, write them down with a commitment to address them the following day. This simple practice can help prevent your mind from ruminating when you should be sleeping. Medication timing can also impact your ability to maintain an optimal bedtime schedule. Some medications cause drowsiness and are best taken in the evening, while others can be stimulating and should be taken earlier in the day. Work with your healthcare provider to review all your medications and optimize their timing to support healthy sleep patterns. Sleep environment factors become increasingly important with age. Room temperature should be kept between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit for optimal sleep. Blackout curtains or eye masks can help create the darkness necessary for quality sleep. A comfortable mattress and pillows that properly support your body can prevent pain that might otherwise wake you during the night. If you're struggling with persistent sleep problems, despite maintaining good sleep hygiene, don't hesitate to discuss your concerns with your healthcare provider. Sleep disorders like sleep apnea become more common with age and can significantly impact sleep quality regardless of your bedtime routine. The power of consistency and patience. One of the most important aspects of optimizing your bedtime schedule is understanding that changes take time to become effective. Your body's internal clock, developed over decades of habits, won't adjust overnight to a new routine. Dr. Thomas Green, a circadian rhythm researcher at Stanford University, explains that it typically takes 2 to 4 weeks for older adults to fully adapt to a new sleep schedule. During this adjustment period, you might experience some temporary sleep disruption. You might feel sleepy earlier than your new bedtime initially, or you might wake up earlier than desired. These temporary adjustments are normal and typically resolve as your body adapts to the new routine. The key is maintaining consistency, even on weekends and holidays, to help your internal clock synchronize with your desired schedule. Dorothy Miller, a retired librarian from Portland, Oregon, experienced this adjustment period when she moved her bedtime from 10:30 to 8:45 p.m. For the first 2 weeks, She found herself waking up at 4:30 a.m., much earlier than her desired 6 a.m. wake time. Rather than abandoning her new routine, she remained consistent with her bedtime and gradually began sleeping later into the morning as her body adjusted. It's also important to be flexible and make adjustments based on how your body responds. While 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. is the recommended bedtime window for most adults over 70, your optimal bedtime might be slightly earlier or later based on your individual circadian rhythm, lifestyle factors, and health status. Keep a sleep diary during your adjustment period to track patterns and identify what works best for you. Note when you go to bed, how long it takes to fall asleep, how many times you wake during the night, what time you naturally wake up, and how you feel the following day. This information can help you fine-tune your routine and identify any factors that might be interfering with quality sleep. Are you ready to start prioritizing your sleep health by finding your optimal bedtime? I'd love to hear about your experience in the comments below. Simply share what time you currently go to bed and how you feel the next morning. Your insights might help other viewers who are struggling with similar sleep challenges. Remember that good sleep is not a luxury at our stage of life. It's a necessity for maintaining our health, independence, and quality of life. By working with your body's natural rhythms rather than against them, you can enjoy the restorative sleep that will energize your days and support your overall well-being. If you found this information helpful, please consider subscribing to our channel for more practical health advice tailored specifically for older adults. Sweet dreams, and here's to many nights of peaceful, rejuvenating sleep ahead.